Quayshawn Demetrius Parker, born November 22nd, 1996. The internet is a very magical environment. It's like the new David Blaine in the magic it can produce for some people's lives. It can completely elevate your status or destroy you forever. In basketball, the internet is where the new game lives. With everyone now having the power of voice, there's so many creative players in the game today. Ones that actually became what the net believed, and ones that flamed out because they believed the hype and were led to make hype decisions. Quay fell into the latter side of the internet. Here's 3 reasons his growth was stunted. Yo, shout out to Brian Knight for this request. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth. Parker was born in Wade, North Carolina, and later moved to Fayetteville. As a senior for Wesleyan Christian Academy, he led his team to a 20-9 record, and only to the quarterfinals of the state championship. Stunt number 1, YouTube ain't life. Quay Parker just wasn't that good, guys. In high school, he ended his career as a 3-star recruit, 34th ranked point guard in the country, 5th in his state, and 173rd overall. He wasn't a bad shooter, he also could jump out the gym, but he was just missing a few things in his game. At 6'1", 6'2", a player with his skill set is not coveted much at the next level. A skill set of a shooting guard / small forward. High school is the only place where a guard of that stature can survive. But when you get to college and to a professional level, your skill set is all you have to stand on. At that size, you must be able to get into the lane, score the basketball, or dish to a teammate in a position where he could be successful. And you need to be able to do this every time. Parker was, for lack of better words, simply just a jumper that got hot on social media for his high-flying abilities. But what was clear was that he didn't have the correct skill set. Having a 45-inch vertical is just not enough. He would need actual pick and roll skills, IQ, knockdown shooting off the catch, and defense to carry him at that size. He does not have these things, and this would hurt his future. We see this all the time. The game loves entertaining players. Sadly, that doesn't always translate to reality. Stunt number 2, college debacle. Quay would team up with 5-star guard Dennis Smith Jr. and had an amazing AAU run. This would give Quay the much-needed boost in his recruitment, with offers coming in from schools all over the country, not just in the surrounding areas. Offers like Boston College, Tennessee, and Rutgers. Playing alongside a player like Dennis was probably the best time of Parker's young life. He was constantly in the spotlight, a staple on YouTube, and had some big-time schools recruiting him. What he didn't learn from Dennis is how to secure your future at that size. Dennis is also a 6'2" point guard, an actual point guard that played the position. No matter how you feel about him now, he at least was in the position he was fitted to be in, and it took him all the way to the NBA. Parker was the shooting guard for that team, further driving home my first point. Parker would commit to the University of Tennessee for a chance to play for one of my favorite coaches in college basketball in Rick Barnes in November 2015 for the 16-17 season. Quay stated that he felt like Barnes would give him the best chance to jump to the next level as a player and fulfill his dreams of being in the NBA. Quay would go on to graduate high school as a 3-star recruit with no real All-American games, Player of the Years, or all-anythings under his belt. Nothing but the YouTube popularity he'd leaned so heavily on. Later stating that those videos were the worst thing to happen to him and that he hates those. But in good spirits, Quay would head down to Tennessee to begin his freshman season. But things all went left for Parker as soon as he got on campus. Many players say that the reason they chose a school was because the coach didn't promise them anything, but rather told them they'd have to work hard for it, and they respected the coach for that. That's bullshit. You don't have your youth to waste on some wild promise like that. Nowadays, players can get into the league from literally wherever they are once they utilize that situation to its full capabilities. So going to a school on some middle-of-the-road, maybe promise is not the way to go. Go to a school that promises to let you play your game, a school that truly likes you, but not only that, has the system you can clearly see yourself fitting into. Give yourself a 100% chance, not some 50-50 bullshit. That phrase, "Oh, he didn't give it to me, he told me I would have to work," is only said by players that are exceptional talents who knew they'd get the spot regardless. Now it's said as something popular and humble. Nah, don't believe the hype. Parker didn't see the floor much as a Tennessee freshman. He would only play 8 minutes a game and average just 1 point on the season, playing 25 games and making only one start. It was also released that he was a lot shorter than expected at 6 foot. His stay there was just horrible, and so he decided just after one season to transfer. Not to another D1 school. Nope, JUCO. Stunt number 3, perception is everything, and in this game, age is more than just a number. My first issue with Parker's decision is that he decided to go the extra long route and go to a JUCO. This is seen as a demotion. While this route works for football players, it just doesn't for basketball unless you're a really dominant player on that level. KWE Parker was an undersized point guard with no real point guard skills or deadly shooting ability and a reputation that preceded him as just a high-flying dunker. With these to fight against, you have to hit the target if you choose to go this route. Parker transferred to Cape Fear Community College in North Carolina for the 2017-18 season. Now, this could have all worked out for him. He's only played 1 year, he was at a major D1 school for a great coach, and he was returning home. Had he performed well in this situation, he'd definitely have a great chance of returning to a Division I stage after just 1 year. Instead, he went to the JUCO and only averaged 11 points per game and 3 assists and didn't shoot the ball well at all for the demoted level. This would be his only season with the team. He failed to get any D1 offers after the season that were worth anything and is now working out preparing for a chance to either play overseas or return to school. He's now 22 years old and will be 23 by the time the next season begins. Sadly, I think he just simply missed his boat as a college star and will have to try to make things work overseas. I think he can definitely thrive in this role and put on a show for the people that are not too familiar with the high flyer. Sadly, the perception of his skills, demotion, and age are all working against him. Hopefully he gets a chance. He's still young, but I just don't see it happening, man. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.